Hello there, Trevor here from Double Bill Movies. Right, so this time another big screen review. The film I've chosen to do that on is Robocop. So this is the Arrow 4K. Thankfully I didn't go for the Blu-ray version when it first came out, because I had a hunch that a 4K would come out, so I didn't have to double dip or anything. And I should be comparing it to this, which is actually the trilogy. So, filmed by Paul Verhoeven, 1987. Pretty good cast we got here. So Peter Weller, who plays Robocop and does a brilliant job. Then you got Nancy Allen, who plays his partner, and she does a great job too. And judging by her picture on IMDb, she still looks amazing. Danny O'Hillery, who plays the old man who owns OCP. And then of course you got the great Ronnie Cox, who plays the boss and the one that's a bit of a schemo, isn't he? Of course, Kurtwood Smith, who can forget his performance of Clarence Boddicker. What a nasty man. And then there's some of his sidekicks, Ray Wise and Paul McCrane. Paul McCrane plays the one who gets rather melted. I think his character is absolutely brilliant. I've always liked him. You know, even though he's a bad guy, just when he turns up at the fuel station and lights a cigarette whilst he's pumping fuel into his motorbike and threatening the guy and everything, just brilliant. So yes, the film is 104 minutes long, the director's cut. There's various different cuts from different countries and different film lengths, or run times, should we say. And let's have a look at some of the technical specs. So there is actually a Criterion DVD that has an aspect ratio of 1:66:1. Now I don't know if that means that they've cropped from side to side, or if they've actually opened up the image top and bottom, meaning that there's more image there, because the theatrical aspect ratio was 1:85:1. So if you're watching on your 16:9 TV, you should see little tiny masks top and bottom of the image. If you don't, there's a setting that you need to change on your TV, because you're not getting the whole picture. So there were some 70mm blow-ups that would have been interesting to see. And the sound was Dolby Spectral Recording. So it says in the credits, I remember seeing it and thinking, oh, so that just says Dolby SR. Now I did see the budget somewhere, so let's have a look for that. I think it had a budget of 13 million, there we go, about $13 million to make the film in the first place. On its opening weekend, it made 8 million. Not bad, I suppose, for its time, but overall, globally, it made $53.5 million. So, obviously it spawned 2 sequels and then a series. I like the sequels. I like the second one, but the third one, once he starts flying around, it's just a bit silly as far as I'm concerned. But this is a lovely box set by Arrow, and I have to say I found the picture absolutely stunning. I found the sound really good too. It may help that I've just slightly upgraded my sound system. I've got slightly better surround speakers. You can't quite see that one. No. Can you see that? That is one of my surround speakers. But yes, the picture upgrade from this, I mean, it was good on this Blu-ray, but the upgrade is quite immense actually. I love the colour palette. It just looks way more natural than it ever did before. And this to me is a showcase 4K. It's a reference 4K. Was great sitting watching it. Totally enjoyed the experience, the whole experience, like I said, the sound, image, and just enjoying the story again anyway. And my first time seeing it on the big screen myself. I was definitely too young to have seen this in the cinema because I was only 11 years old. But yeah, let's just have a quick look at what we got in here. There's not, you know, a review of the box set, but there's the lovely theatrical artwork. Nice booklet here and a poster. Right, let's take a look at some comparison images, shall we? Okay, so here are the image comparisons. Now there's one right at the bottom here, so let's start with that one. So this is the 4K. The monitor you can see there is actually way more detail visible when you're watching it yourself. I could not get the camera to pick up all the detail that I could see. It was really quite frustrating. Yeah, that's that one. All right, so this one, this is the scene I was talking about where he goes to the gas station and kind of causes havoc. But there's way more visible here. Now, this is kind of a bit of a contradiction to some of the things that I've said in the past about Blu-ray always being too bright. But because of the higher resolution and the way they can when they do the restorations and everything, and they set the color palettes and the brightness and this, that, and the other, and the contrast, obviously they'll set it more accurate to real life. And in this case, this image is actually brighter than the Blu-ray version, and that's, you know, mostly down to the resolution and obviously the HDR. The HDR is a big player in how all this works. And there he is, before he gets melted. Now, the detail I could see on this is amazing. If I zoom in here on his jacket, just look at the detail, and obviously it gets a bit blurry as you're seeing the film grain as I zoom in. But then down to his face, all the hairs and everything, and there's even more detail when you see it, you know, in real life sort of thing. Again, the phone camera doesn't pick up everything. And there's the opposing shot of Robocop himself, or Peter Weller. The gun barrel there really pops off the screen. It's such a sort of 3D looking image. There was some great depth, not just on that previous shot of me on the motorbike, but there was another scene that I was going to take a picture of because it had a lot of depth to it, but I couldn't find it again. So I love the color palette here. Obviously it's artificial light, it's nighttime, but everything looks great. This scene is brilliant. I had to put this in here because I thought there was lots going on in the image, and it's funny. I have permission basically, and yeah, do you want to stop me? You can if you want to. Now, I've put this in here. All you car aficionados out there, put in the comments for this video as to what car you think that is, or I'm sure you know it is. I'm sure you know what car that is. I was really surprised to see it, especially in the US. Yes, this is only on screen fleetingly, but yeah, just put in the comments what car you think that is. So this is the Blu-ray version. Now you can see that there's much less of the skyscraper on the left. Now the color banding at the top is not on the Blu-ray. That is just my camera and my phone. Phone's a bit old now, so it doesn't quite work as it should do. But so don't worry about that big color band in the sky. That is not on the Blu-ray. But as you can see, this is much darker. Still looks good, it doesn't look wrong, but it's less visible on the image. Contrasting to that, this one looks more washed out, not quite as much contrast, and the detail on his jacket is not quite the same, obviously, because of the lower resolution. and you know, it is still sort of there, but oh look, there's a little skull and thingy there. I didn't notice that before. And there's even less detail on his face. Of course, I picked up the opposing shot. Again, the blue streak in the top left corner is not on the Blu-ray, it's just the camera. This one doesn't pop as much as the other one, and still looks nice. The Blu-ray image does really look nice. Now, one thing I definitely noticed, and I did take 2 images, but they didn't come out right. When Ed 209 is introduced and that whole scene happens in the boardroom, there you go, that's the Blu-ray version of that image. I found on the 4K and with the HDR and everything that the stop motion animation sits in the image better. It's much harder to tell the difference between the elements, let's say, because when you see these things on film at the cinema, the special effects do not jump out the screen like they do on DVD or Blu-ray or poorly set up TVs and everything. So it was really, really pleasing to see how well the special effects sit in the image. So to be honest, if you're watching on your TV and you think the special effects look awful, then it's definitely your TV settings, and you need to make some changes, because they should not look awful. And any more images? No, that's it basically. Well, yes, there is. There's that one. So what happened there? I don't know why. So there we go. The you know, skin tone doesn't look quite as good. It's not quite as warm. Yes, they're in artificial light and everything like that, but I think compared to the other one, wherever it is, there we go. That to me just looks more normal, more natural, more like real life. And that's what we need to remember. Most of these films, they set up these scenes and they light them to achieve as much, as close to reality as possible. And I think that's what's been happening when I've been watching Blu-rays over the years. Because there's not enough colours to represent what's actually on the film, they don't look natural. They look good. They look great. Don't get me wrong. Blu-rays always look great. But I'm now finding out that, wow, I'm seeing the colours as they are supposed to be seen. And something's gone. A sort of a slight discomfort, which I didn't realise was there, has gone. And I'm enjoying the films a lot more. So there you go. There's some image comparisons of Robocop. So there you go. Quite a difference in the image quality and colour palette. The Blu-ray doesn't look bad actually. When I put it on to get those comparison shots, I thought to myself, no, this actually still looks nice. Anyway, so that's the end of that review. Give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I've got plenty of different things going on my channel, not just reviews like this. So check out my playlists and explore the channel. Be nice to see people in the comments. Yeah, I get quite a few comments and that's good, but it'd be nice to see a few more, because I'm up to nearly 600 people subscribed now. So yeah, don't just watch, comment. I know you might just be watching on your TV and there's not really any way of commenting. I think there's a really long way of doing it with your remote, and that's just, yeah. So just pick up your phone, go onto YouTube, find the video, and just write your comment then. Yeah. So anyway, until the next review, take it easy.